A tree doesn't compete with the trees around it. It just grows. Some things have to end in order for better things to begin. You will not find yourself in the opinions of others. What is coming is better than what has gone. The biggest lie you've told yourself is that you're not ready yet. The people with the worst past can create the best future. Forgive yourself for accepting less than you deserved, but don't do it again. Sometimes we break ourselves to leave behind the pieces that were never ours to carry. We are products of our past, but we don't have to be prisoners of it. Someday, when things are okay, you'll look back and feel proud that you didn't give up. Some paths can't be discovered without getting lost first. Stop choosing what's not choosing you. Sometimes we don't want to heal because the pain is the last link to what we've lost. The chains that hold you back are never put there by someone else. You don't notice your progress in life because you are always raising the bar. You can only lose what you cling to. Work on your boundaries. You can't be everything to everyone and nothing to yourself. Perhaps you are overvaluing what you don't have and undervaluing what you do. Don't compare yourself to others. There is no comparison between the moon and the sun. They shine when it is their time. Things work out when you least expect them. Life has a funny way of surprising us when we're not looking for it. Overthinking the art of creating problems that weren't even there. Everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. Be patient with your actions, but be patient with your results. When the road gets bumpy, you don't leave the car. You put the seatbelt on. Your value is not determined by someone else's inability to see your worth. The fish that keeps its mouth shut never gets caught. You have to believe in yourself before anyone else does. Just because it's taking time doesn't mean it's not working. Everything you thought was drowning you actually taught you how to swim. Life is like a piano. White keys represent happiness and black shows sadness. But as you go through life's journey, remember that the black keys also create music. If life can remove something you never expected to lose, it can also replace it with something you never dreamt of having. You're not everything you could be, and you know it. You either solve the problems or leave the problem. Never live with the problem. We master our future with experiences from our past. You're not afraid of failure. You're afraid of success and everything it demands from you. Just because something is hard to obtain doesn't mean that it's valuable. No matter how many goals you have achieved, you must set your sights on a higher one. Strength doesn't come from what you can do. It comes from overcoming the things you once thought you couldn't. You'll never be criticized by someone who is doing more than you. You'll always be criticized by someone doing less. Stop chasing the money and start chasing the passion. The past shows what you've done. The future will show what you learned. Like the moon, we have to go through phases of emptiness to feel full. Stop for a moment and celebrate how far you've come. The truth is that you owe nothing to your younger self, but you owe everything to your present self. You will only learn, improve, and figure it out by doing. To forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you. Just like nature, we all need to go through different phases of change in order to bloom. You wouldn't have learned to ride a bike if someone you trusted didn't let you go. You are not behind. You are just on your own path. If you set your goals ridiculously high and it's a failure, you will fail above everyone else's success. Success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. The pain you've been feeling can't compare to the joy that is coming. Accepting a negative experience is a positive experience. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. You won't know what is right for you until you experience enough wrong. What you do today is a reflection of who you will become tomorrow. For your peace of mind, do not try to understand everything. You cannot judge what should bring others joy. The others cannot judge what should bring you joy. Healing doesn't mean the damage never existed. It means the damage no longer controls your life. Confidence is a habit that can be developed by acting as if you already have the confidence you desire to have. If you fulfill your obligations every day, you don't need to worry about the future. The success among us delays gratification and bargains with the future. Your competition isn't other people. Your competition is your procrastination, your negative thoughts, and your comfort zone. The only time you run out of chances is when you stop taking them. Be the person you needed when you were younger. If we all did the things we are capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves. You will only know true freedom when you no longer wish to impress anyone. Normality is a paved road. It's comfortable to walk on, but no flowers grow on it. Self-care is realizing that you are your greatest obstacle. You don't deserve someone who comes back. You deserve someone who never leaves. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Just because you slipped on a step doesn't mean you should throw yourself down the staircase. Good decisions come from experience. Experience comes from making bad decisions. The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. Fear is not there to stop you. It's there to show you that you're interested and you care. Never be limited by other people's limited imaginations. The pain you're avoiding is the lesson you need to grow. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. True mental strength is your ability to focus and refocus on what you can control and ignore everything else outside of it. That's the only way you'll maintain the enthusiasm to push onward. Love is worth fighting for, but it's not worth it if you're the only one fighting. When we avoid difficult conversations, we trade short-term discomfort for a long-term problem. Some people were not put on your path to evolve. They were put there to remind you what it looks like if you don't. We avoid the things that we're afraid of because we think there will be dire consequences if we confront them. But the truly dire consequences in our lives come from avoiding things that we need to learn about or discover. You already know what you need to do. You just pretend you don't. But once you start, everything will fall into place faster than you think. Not everything that weighs you down is yours to carry. People only saw the decisions you made, not the choices you had. You can't build a reputation for what you're going to do. Do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better. Trees don't hang around with the grass even though they are started from the same place. When you are not sure, flip a coin. Because when the coin is in the air, you realize which option you are actually hoping for. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. You can have anything you want if you are willing to give up the belief that you can't have it. The bigger the ambition, the slower you need to go. When opportunities knock on your door, don't wait too long to decide, because when you take too much time, the decision will be made for you. Typically, this will not be to your benefit. The person who says it cannot be done should not interrupt the person who is doing it. There is more power in your choices than in your circumstances. It's better to be an optimist who is sometimes wrong than a pessimist who is always right. It won't happen overnight, but if you quit, it won't happen at all. There is only one thing more painful than learning from experience, and that is not learning from experience. Most obstacles melt away when you decide to walk boldly through them. The mountain you're climbing wasn't put there to punish you, but to show you what you're capable of. The way to develop self-confidence is to do the thing you fear and get a record of successful experiences behind you. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Just because you hate this chapter doesn't mean you'll hate the book. People will always project their fears and limiting beliefs onto you. What you must do is build a shield against this noise so you can protect yourself from it. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. Change is never painful. Only resistance to change is painful. Ability is what you're capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do, and attitude determines how well you do it. It's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. The better ambitions have to do with the development of character and ability, rather than status and power. Status you can lose. You carry character with you wherever you go, and it allows you to prevail against adversity. When you trade doubt and fear for hope and courage, the world unfolds in ways you never imagined. Wanting to be someone else is a waste of the person you are. Enjoy the little things, for one day you may look back and realize they were the big things. The people who say you can't and you won't are usually the ones scared that you will. Never miss an opportunity to make others happy, even if you have to leave them alone to do it. It's not hard. It's just new. You can sacrifice pieces of your flesh, but still be considered selfish for keeping your bones. You're a student of life, for life. Your sole objective, then, is to keep learning, evolving, and expanding your mind. Sometimes the right place is a person. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin. Focus on yourself and your goals, and don't get distracted by dishonesty and disloyalty from people who only waste your time and energy. People don't think about you as much as you imagine they do. You can do an awful lot by writing down what happened to you and thinking it through. People with ambition don't give a damn what other people think of them. Yesterday is not ours to recover, but tomorrow is ours to win or lose. Things turn out the best for people who make the best of the way things turn out. Everyone is jealous of what you have. No one is jealous of how you got it. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets in them. Don't let what's happening around you get inside you and weigh you down. You can't cross the ocean until you lose sight of the shore. Incredible change happens in your life when you decide to take control of what you do have power over, instead of craving control over what you don't. The light that you discover in your life is proportionate to the amount of darkness you are willing to forthrightly confront. Notice that opportunity lurks where responsibility has been abdicated. Maybe you don't exist in the future you are so worried about. Knowledge is learning something every day. Wisdom is letting go of something every day. When you reach doubt, that's when you start to make real progress. Low self-confidence isn't a life sentence. Self-confidence can be learned, practiced, and mastered, just like any other skill. Once you master it, everything in your life will change for the better. Obstacles can't stop you. Problems can't stop you. Most of all, other people can't stop you. Only you can stop you. The version of you that you're scared to become is the one who's going to save you. You define your own life. Don't let other people write your script. Caring about the happiness of others, we find our own. With time, the more wins with fear you can accumulate, the more fearless you will become. Preoccupied with a single leaf, you won't see the tree. Always be yourself and have faith in yourself. Do not go out and look for a successful personality and try to duplicate it. When it comes to your dreams, every risk is worth it. Failure is luck, whose meaning you have yet to understand. Gain control of your time, and you will gain control of your life. If it can be fixed, why are you complaining? If it can't be fixed, why are you complaining? Why is happiness so elusive? Because you look for it in the future instead of in the present. It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. Your worth doesn't need convincing. Let those who can't see it walk away. In our lives, change is unavoidable. Loss is unavoidable. In the adaptability and ease with which we experience change lies our happiness and freedom. Confidence comes from not always being right, but not fearing to be wrong. You've got to know when it's time to turn the page. Forget yesterday. It has already forgotten you. Don't sweat tomorrow you haven't even met. Instead, open your eyes and your heart to a truly precious gift today. Problems are not stop signs. They are guidelines. In order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. The acquisition of knowledge doesn't mean you're growing. Growing happens when what you know changes how you live. You get in life what you have the courage to ask for. The way you make people resilient is by voluntarily exposing them to things that they are afraid of and that makes them uncomfortable. The cold water doesn't get warmer if you jump late. Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit at home and think about it. Go out and get busy. Greatest success comes just one step beyond the point at which defeat overtakes you. The walls you've built to protect yourself are the same walls keeping you from growing. A man always has two reasons for doing anything: a good reason and the real reason. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. Learn to sit back and observe. Not everything needs a reaction. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. You can't give your life more time, so give your time more life. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. It is never too late to be what you might have been. As soon as you trust yourself, you will know how to live. If you went back in time and fixed your past mistakes, you would erase yourself. What would you attempt to do if you knew you would not fail?